this is Comic Uno. Today I'm doing a review for Hawkeye, issue 13. Before I start talking about this issue, just want to give you guys a little update. Well, the only update. I do have Comic Uno episode 18 up, and that'll be annotated. And here are the exclusive comics for Comic Uno episode 18, which are Animal Man issue 24, Green Lantern New Guardians issue 24, Trinity of Sin Pandora issue 4, Morning Glories issue 33, and Invincible issue 106. So if you want to go check out those reviews, and of course check out all the comics I read this week in one show, go to Comic Uno episode 18, which is annotated on DarkAvengerINC. Well, it's annotated on this video, but it's on DarkAvengerINC. But let's talk about Hawkeye issue 13. So the cover is awesome. You know, I love these covers that Hawkeye has, even though it doesn't quite make sense with these little dot things, but it kind of feels Matt Fraction-y with these little cube things going on. But really love the coloring, love the cover. I think it's pretty cool, even though the concept's like, oh, it's Hawkeye shooting at the sky. But still very cool art, and really glad that Aja is actually on this issue, because he's my favorite artist for Hawkeye, and I think he makes this series as good as it can be. You know, I think he does the best on this series, art-wise. I'm like, alright, this is Hawkeye art. So very happy to see that. So this series hasn't come out since June. It's been delayed for a while, and even in the end over here, they're like, sorry we were delayed, but so they know they've been delayed. They've been delayed for a while, and this is a series that is critically acclaimed. All the fans love it, and personally, I really do like Hawkeye. I think previously there has been some slow issues with Grill's death and not really moving and progressing because of that. But we're finally seeing more progression with that, and we're finally ending that Grill story arc, which I love the character. I thought he was very cool, but kind of lasted a bit too long and too many people's perspectives of this death. So, very happy to see that this will be the end of that story arc and moving on to other stories, and hopefully we won't have more delays with this series, because I really do look forward to reading it. So it's one of my favorites. But let's see what's going on in the story. Let's see if I like that. So yeah, we do see that Hawkeye has finally found out that Grill has died. That's the only person that's left to know that Grill died. The dog knew that Grill died before Hawkeye. So we do see he's kind of in the rut because of that. This was his good friend, and I guess he feels a little guilty about it also, because he runs the building. He should have known, and these people are probably, it's the bros, and these people probably are aiming at him and not Grill. So he feels guilty about it, and we see more of that in this issue. And then we go to his funeral. You know, Kate's trying to be supportive about it, and even his other friends like Spider-Woman, Black Widow, even his ex-wife, Mockingbird, are trying to be supportive of him. We're seeing more of the woman in his life, and we all enjoy that. I think that's awesome for Clint. And then we have this other half of the issue where I guess it's a little bit after the funeral, and Kate has left. We already know that story from the annual. Kate left to Los Angeles. It's kind of referenced here. Lucky also goes with Kate, and Clint, I guess, reenacts with his brother a little bit more. We had a story about that in the past, and now his brother's I think his name's Barney. Yeah, his brother is going to be living with him in the apartment, so he's going to be part of the cast, which I'm very looking forward to. So that was the whole issue. I liked this issue. I did. Honestly, I only had really a small problem with it, and that's probably because of all the issues that are kind of out of order throughout this whole series since Grill's death, and since, honestly, Hurricane Sandy's issue, which was a couple of months ago, more than that. So ever since that issue, a lot of things have been told out of order. So we have Kate going to Los Angeles, and Kate's still in this issue, and then she randomly goes to Los Angeles in the end of the issue. So I think, honestly, you could tell where the gap is. It's right after him talking about Hurricane Sandy and everything, and talking to his father, talking about Grill's death, and we have that dream. It's right after that, and we see after the funeral, and we go into Barney's story, his brother's story. That's when it feels like, oh, did I miss something? And we didn't miss anything. We have those stories from the past, but it just feels like a weird gap where Kate has left for no reason and didn't tell Clint. And if you didn't read those issues, if you didn't connect to those issues, you'd be totally confused. You'd be like, where is this gap missing? So honestly, I think it would have been better if they told things in order. Maybe after this issue they should have done the Kate issues. This should have been told after Grill's death. I think it would have been better if you wanted to tell those Lucky stories and Kate stories. That's just my opinion. I just felt, I could find the page where it just feels like this gap should have been filled. Or it should have been told in a future issue better than a past issue. But other than that, I thought this was a very good emotional issue, especially with Grill's death, going talk to his father, having that Hurricane Sandy dream. I thought it was a very good emotional issue, and then even Kate talking to Clint saying, you know, I'm only better with you. So we have a lot of great character moments in this issue that made this issue for me a lot. And other than that gap, I thought it was a really good issue, going into a good direction with the brother being in the apartment now, being a little bit more part of Clint's life. We still have the bros, which I'm honestly kind of over the bros. I want to see that story arc start to end, because I think, you know, one good plus side of Hawkeye is, yes, there aren't really story arcs for the story, or for the series, but then that's also a minus, because I want a story arc. I want to see stuff progress. And then the bros have just been there for so long because there hasn't been a story arc to really finish their story. So that's a plus and minus for this series. But honestly, I really enjoyed this. Aja also did a great job on art. This is my favorite art for the series, and he's one of my favorite artists, so really love this, and, you know, love the coloring. This is what Hawkeye does best. So I give it a 4.5, even though there's a couple of problems. Really, they're only minor problems, and hopefully it doesn't ruin future issues. That's really where it could really interrupt future issues. We'll have to see. I think Kate's in the next issue with her Los Angeles thing, which I'm not totally excited about because I don't really like that masquerade girl. I don't remember her name, Madame Mask. So we'll have to see what future issues give us, but this issue was very good, and I give it a 4.5. So I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Rant Situations, and don't forget to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Rant Situations. And I'll see you guys later.